Welcome to the Montgomery College Office of Admissions and Records tutorial on how to register for classes. I'm Lillian Mess, a Montgomery College student and your guide through the credit registration process. To begin, you will need to go to the Montgomery College website at www.montgomerycollege.edu. To register for classes, you will need to log into MyNC. Click on the MyNC link at the top of any Montgomery College webpage to begin. Enter your MyNC ID and password, then click Submit. If you have not logged into MyNC before or you don't remember your MyNC ID or password, you can find helpful information by clicking the New to MyNC button on the right side of the MyNC login screen. Once you have logged into MyNC, you will find yourself on the MyNC homepage. From here, you will need to click on the Register for Classes link found under the Registration Quick Links in the center of the page. On this screen, you will need to select the semester for which you intend to register from the drop-down menu, then click Submit. If you get a security warning, click Yes. This is the registration screen. At the top, you will find important information about registering and any changes to the registration process. This information is worth reading before you begin. At the bottom of the screen is where you can register by entering the CRNs or course reference numbers of the classes you want to add to your schedule. If you don't know the CRNs, you can also search for classes. Depending on the size of your monitor and or your browser window, you may need to scroll down to see these options. There are two different ways to register. We will show you both ways. Let's begin with the first method. If you have already done a class search, you can enter the CRNs into the boxes at the bottom of the screen and click on the Submit Changes button. You will be taken back to the registration screen. But this time, if you scroll past the text at the top, you will be able to see classes for which you have successfully registered. You will also see classes that you were not able to join, along with some information about why the registration wasn't successful. If you're not sure what the registration add error means, you can find further information at www.montgomerycollege.edu/registration-help. Now let's try the second registration method. If you don't know the CRNs for the classes you would like to take, you can do a class search and register for classes at the same time. To begin, click on the class search link at the bottom of the registration screen. Similar to the registration screen, this class lookup screen has some information text at the top of the page and search information at the bottom of the page. You may need to scroll down to get to the search parameters. You must always choose at least one subject to do a search. All other parameters are optional. Select a subject by clicking on it. You can search multiple subjects by holding the Control or Command key down while you select additional subjects by clicking on them. You can narrow your search by including information such as a course number. For example, if you want to search for EN 105 classes, select EN English as your subject and 105 as the course number. You can also narrow your search by campus. Like subject, you can select multiple campuses by holding down the Control or Command key as you click. You can also use the day or time search parameters to limit your search. Keep in mind, the more parameters you enter, the fewer classes you're likely to get in your results. Once you have entered your search, click on the Class Search button at the bottom of the page. The classes that match your criteria will be shown. Each class will have information such as the CRN, campus, days and time of class meetings, number of students currently registered and waitlisted, instructor if known, and dates of the class. Some classes will also have text after the main entry that indicates other information, such as whether the class is late starting, if the class has co-requisites, or other information. If a class is open and there are no students on the waitlist, you can register for the class by clicking on the box on the far left. Then scroll down to the bottom of the page and click Register. If there are seats available, but there are also students on the wait list, the students on the wait list have priority over the available seats. Watch the waitlist podcast to find out how to successfully navigate the waitlist process. Also note that if a class has a prerequisite, you will need to register all the prerequisites at the same time. Take chemistry, for example. To register for chemistry, you will need to click in 3 boxes: the box next to the lecture, the box next to the lab, and the box next to the discussion. Then click Register. For classes such as learning communities, you may need to make a note of the CRNs and then register for the classes using the first method, registration by CRN, to add these classes to your schedule. Once you click Register, you will be taken back to the registration screen. Similar to the method where you enter the CRNs, you will see classes for which you successfully registered at the top of the screen. Classes added to your schedule will show as registered web. If there are any registration errors, those will also display at the bottom of the page. Repeat this process for each class that you wish to add to your schedule. If while you're registering, you decide to change the time of a class that you want to take, you will need to drop the other section of the class that is currently on your class schedule. You can also do this by clicking on the drop-down arrow next to the class in which you are registered. Select Drop, then click on the Submit Changes button at the bottom of the screen. Similarly, if you want to take a class for audit instead of credit, you can select Audit from the drop-down menu and then click Submit Changes. Some students will choose to take classes for audit if they are not interested in getting a grade, and are only taking the class for personal interest. Classes taken as an audit do not count toward graduation and do not count toward full-time enrollment for financial aid, veterans benefits, or student visa status. Please be cautious. Do not select audit unless you are sure. If you make a mistake and accidentally register for audit, you will need to seek in-person assistance from the Office of Admissions and Records if you wish to change your status. If you have additional questions about the registration process, you will find helpful resources at www.montgomerycollege.edu/register. For one-on-one assistance, you may visit the Office of Admissions and Records. Call us at 240-567-5000 or send us an email to response@montgomerycollege.edu. The Office of Admissions and Records looks forward to having you at Montgomery College, where there are always endless possibilities.